Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda.
All right, good evening once again, guys. Wednesday evening, we're going to do What the Fuck Wednesdays and Friday night wrap-ups. That's what we thought we'd call it, Frank. What the fuck? I mean, what's going on? It's just insane, isn't it?
You can't make it up, Dave. You really can't make it up, man. I tell you what, I'm pretty much done with. I mean, I've run out of popcorn, man. I don't know. I'm done.
Yeah, popcorn's all.
Yeah, that's it, man. I'm done.
Anyway.
Exactly.
Well, my thoughts go out for anyone who's on a 800 grand mortgage, which would be most of our young people, because your mortgage just went up $300 a month. I mean, that is like wow. Who's got a mortgage under 800? Young kids? No, I wouldn't say anyone.
No.
That's scary.
Yeah. I mean, how they justify it, Dave, I have no idea, And I've always said this, so the Reserve Bank, we know, is connected to the Federal Reserve. So who's actually setting the benchmark? Surely, these so-called pretenders, these bureaucrats. Yeah, off you go, Dave. What do you reckon? Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty simple, isn't it? Yeah, it's all by design, Frank. So, let's take it back to the New World Order. That's exactly
pretty much
what it is.
Yeah. Have you had enough? That's what it really comes down to.
I think the people are going to be had enough pretty soon, actually, because this is going to make it, and they've got more to come. Yeah, this is, just a bit of a, a start to actually, push the people down. Why? Because we're rising up. Yeah, people are rising. They need to crush them. And that's the agenda.
It's all the appetizers at the moment, Dave. The main meal hasn't come yet.
Yeah, well, that's a fair point, mate,
Yeah.
But you can always go to the mainstream media, Channel 9, and get your inflation busting ideas.
Or you can go to 7 and figure out what sovereign citizen means.
Yeah, well, I did watch that on the ABC, actually. Again,
Yeah,
making a mockery of us guys. You know, the people who got interviewed, yeah, really.
yeah,
Anyway,
Yeah.
another thing.
yeah.
Anyway, look, let's have a look at what because there's actually the other side has done a bit of a rant on the incoming laws, and when you put that and what Tony Burke has said today about radicalisation, it's very interesting.
Mhm.
Being ordered to appear before Australia's domestic spy agency, ASIO, and being compelled to answer every question you're asked under oath, being forbidden from staying silent, something that's normally your right if you're arrested and questioned, not being able to even have your lawyer speak up for you, and then when it's all over, being legally prohibited from even telling anyone it happened, not your family, not your friends, not your employer, no one. That madness is not a hypothetical. That is existing Australian law right now. After the September 11 attacks in America, which were a quarter century ago now, the government gave us ASIO emergency powers to compel people to answer questions, even if they weren't suspects. Those powers were meant to be temporary. There was a sunset clause written in. It has to be reviewed by Parliament every few years. Well, they've extended them many times, and here we are 24 years later. Now, the Albanese government, with full coalition backing, I repeat, with full coalition backing, wants to make these special laws from 2002 permanent. This new bill that's before Parliament right now will expand what ASIO can question people about too, including a very vague, and perhaps deliberately vague, new category called the promotion of communal violence. Critics are asking, could that capture a heated social media post or a protest perhaps? Under the current laws, ASIO can question you for up to 24 hours, even if you're not suspected of any crime, which is pretty serious stuff. You have no right to silence, as we said. Your lawyer can be there, but they can't interrupt the proceedings. They can't advise you during the questioning like a lawyer normally could. And if ASIO decides your lawyer might be a security concern, they can be removed entirely. See you later, Mr. Lawyer. And your lawyer's notes can be seized. And as we said, once it's all over, that secrecy provision kicks in and you face criminal penalties if you disclose that any of it ever happened. So let that all sink in, because it could happen to any one of us.
We'll leave it there. He does a really great job. But the thing is that on top of that, you've actually got this from Tony Burke.
Attached to terrorism, and finally, people being young. Those four characteristics effectively meant that radicalisation, which we might have always associated with the meeting room, was now also happening in the chat room.
In a security environment where radicalisation increasingly occurs online and extremists increasingly engage with each other in encrypted chat groups, ASIO must be online too. I continue to be extremely concerned by the number of young people, particularly young men, who are being radicalised online and mobilising to violence relatively quickly with little to no warning. I therefore welcome the government's decision to invest directly in these capabilities.
Oh, of course.
Gaining access to extremists and their chat groups requires training, resources, time, specialist knowledge and specialist technology. This investment will uplift the number of people we, ASIO and the Australian Federal Police, have engaging in online operations and invest in the tools they need to help identify and disrupt targets before they move to real-world violence. The challenge posed by online radicalisation and encryption is significant and continues to grow.
Oh, we'll leave it there. All right, you can see who the targets are. You know, like it's just, and they have a very good reason to be very, very nervous, because there's so many people that are actually speaking up. I've done a compilation of them, and there's just more people popping up everywhere.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you know, the Freemasons are no longer a secret society. Now they're trying to bring out their rule book in the social playground, you know. But at the end of the day, I mean, your days are numbered, well and truly. I mean, that's all there is.
Exactly. They wouldn't be doing this if they weren't concerned. But the thing is, these laws they're not laws at all. They're absolutely straight out of a communist handbook, as far as my opinion goes. And they're a violation of your civil rights on every front, on every single front. There's nothing that can be There's nothing redeemable about them. And you can see why people are getting so angry, because it's like you've even got these stories about what's going on in Melbourne.
And this is a highly
Melbourne, we have
intelligent,
three crime scenes
ASIO.
in place this morning. Electric bar on Chapel Street, an attempted firebombing there. Just a few streets away on St Edmunds Road, 5 people arrested in a stolen car. They were in possession of jerry cans, but police say their arrest is not linked to the attempted arson on Chapel Street. Also overnight, a family home in Caulfield North firebombed. An elderly couple, a man and 2 children, forced to climb a wall to escape. Neighbours also evacuated. And in Tullamarine, a car has been driven into a kebab shop and set alight.
You have kebab. Yeah, but what I was going to say about the ASIO, the intelligent ASIO, let's go back to the Dural caravan. Like, these guys are just absolute idiots.
Yeah.
Idiots. Yeah.
And let's not forget the young boy, the autistic boy, that was basically the parents informed the AFP about his tendencies, and rather than help him, they were maneuvering to set him up.
Yeah,
just outrageous behaviour. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that they can bring in more laws against us.
Yeah, you got it.
My TikTok just got flagged. What are you guys talking about?
Look, you've got, like, the thing is too, you can see that Australians are getting really angry. You've got this situation here where you've got so this is a comparison with 2000. So the average house is 300,000. In Australia in 2026, it's 950,000. Salary 45,000, 95,000. $2.50 for a coffee, $7 for a coffee. It goes on. So the cost of living has gone up 260%, while salaries have gone up 114%. So Australians are absolutely feeling it,
Oh, they're behind the 8 ball now. Yeah.
I feel sorry for people on the treadmill. I really do, but we've been warning you for 6 years what's coming.
Yeah.
Well, and they're just trying to extract money from everywhere. So you've got this situation where you've got 180,000 to remove 3 trees.
3 eucalyptus iron barks. Yet, just behind that photo to the other side, there's a whole heap. Probably, I think he counted out 284 eucalyptus iron barks. Come on.
And you've got this situation as well. With this actually happened in down the road from me, and this is a woman who gave birth to twins in a tent.
Holy shit!
And one of whom did not survive.
Oh no!
Yeah, and it's just unbelievable. Like, this is the state. This is the state our people are in. It's just what a disgrace this government is. What an absolute disgrace. And you can see why they're worried, because I put a compilation together, guys, of people that are speaking out. I just did a quick cut because there's just so many of them now. Australians are basically rising up and they're angry. So have a listen to this.
One of Albanese's most treasonous acts yet. By expanding the first home buyers scheme to permanent residents, he is forcing Australian citizens to pay immigrants to buy up Australian homes. This is an absolute outrage and highlights...
I received an email from an old friend, a lefty lunatic in Alice Springs, who said that she had started a change.org petition to remove my social media accounts. She seems to think I'm profiting from these videos. I'm not. I've never been monetized. All I am doing is nailing the coffin in my arts career, which is fine, because somebody needs to move the Overton window. If you deviate in any way from the approved script, you will be hounded out of a reputation and a potential livelihood. That's not debate, that's not democracy. That's you proving me right. You lose the argument when you shut us down. I worked in these town camps. I know firsthand the conditions Sharon was living in. I was a youth worker in Alice Springs many years ago. It was one of the most soul-destroying jobs I've ever done, and I didn't do it for very long. It was hard.
Australians are doing it probably as tough as we ever have since probably the convicts arrived in chains and built the foundations of this country and created Australia to what it is today. However, I would propose a couple of key areas we could significantly fix this country in a very short period of time if we address them. The first one...
G'day, legends. I just cannot let this go. Jim Chalmers said the RBA raised the interest rates today by 25 basis points. Yes, to be expected, but what then the fucking parasite goes on to say is it's Australians are feeling the cost of living in this country due to the war in the Middle East. No, Jim, you're a fuckface. The reason that we're feeling a cost of living is because this government has a problem at the strippers bar on a Friday night, and they can't just stop hitting the fucking $100 bill money printing button. And they're inflating Australia's currency supply somewhere between 10 and 20% per year. The reason we have a cost of living crisis, put mass immigration aside, is the fucking government's policies, and they're going to gaslight it, and people are going to watch TV tonight and they'll be like, oh, it's all because of the Middle East. No, this is a cost of government problem. We need to get the Labor out. We need to get the Liberals out. The Uni Party have been fucking this country for far too long. Thanks for your attention.
Yeah, you get them all out. Hey, Frank?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, ASIO, you're going to lock the whole fucking country up now, brother. Fuck you, ASIO. Fuck you.
Don't try.
Look, it's what I'm really excited about is the young people are waking up, and they're waking up really angry. And it's just like, it's awesome because Australians are majority introvert, and so they're not used to doing this kind of stuff. They're not used to putting this stuff out there, especially when you get hounded. I've got this beautiful takedown, but it's also like, it's not just basically just exclusively the white people. It's actually we're being joined by the Aboriginals as well. Here's Oni, and she's basically researched the whole welcome to country thing. She said it's never been part of our culture. She said what it was it's a trade-off. They couldn't get us under treaty, so they bought us into the corporation by this. And she goes on to say this because somebody pins the question on her, and she's just basically answered it really succinctly like this.
I hope it's okay to ask, is acknowledgement of country an actual Aboriginal traditional practice, or is it like a modern white saviour thing? It is a made-up protocol by Reconciliation Australia. It's not culture, it's not our way, but it's been institutionalised to make people think that it is our culture.
Well said. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we got more of them. We got more of them. We got so many of them. Like we got Dale. Dale's been around from the beginning, and he's talking about the compromised politicians. But also you got Hugo Ozpill. He has actually put this about the importing the voters.
Does affect the Indian community because a number of them on temporary visas.
First of all, there are lots of countries that have effectively part of their economy as guest workers who will never become citizens. I don't believe that should be the model for Australia.
So it's been claimed before, even by sitting senators, that Indians are being imported because they're Labor voters. But the evidence for that until now has really just been that, look, Indians do vote Labor up to 85%, and there are a lot of them coming in. But what about the Indians who can already vote? Why would they care to help some other Indian become a citizen of Australia? Who can vote, get on the NDIS, get Medicare? As mentioned earlier, up to 85% of Indians vote Labor, which has confused some people because they are otherwise very conservative. They come from a country that's currently being ruled by a far-right government. But when they come here, they're voting left. They're voting for Labor. And the reason for that, as confirmed by some of the most prestigious political analysts in Australia, is they want more immigration. They want to import more of themselves. These conservatives don't vote Conservative because the Conservatives aren't promising mass immigration like Labourers. So Tony Burke going on this podcast saying he wants to convert these temporary visas into citizens is for himself importing more voters, but also confirming the ones that are already here, because that is what they want, more of themselves. They are literally giving Australia away to India. When Prime Minister Modi came to Australia, tens of thousands of Indians filled a stadium, gave him a rock star entrance. He gave Albanese this weird hug, and then Albanese renamed part of Sydney Little India during that visit. Literally a plaque, this is Little India, giving the country away. Literally, figuratively, it's cooked.
And so like they're importing them hand over fist. Now the other thing is that what's going down in New Zealand as well at the moment is we've seen this in the UK. We haven't seen this over here yet, but a New Zealand woman has been left in shock after police hunted her down for a Facebook post that claimed was unwelcoming to the Indian community.
Really? How?
Well, go on, Dave.
Oh, just poor little things hurt their feelings, What
Yeah, I
it's
know.
just a joke. And the cops, my word is to the cops. What are you doing, you wankers? Anyone, just following these orders is a wanker. Your own people. Think about it. Think about it.
Exactly. I mean, we've got Uber Eats, Uber cars. Now we're going to have Uber government, because they might as well, welcome. Welcome. I'm Uber government.
Well, the thing is that the tide is certainly turning. Now I just want to really play this because people are very confused sometimes. I think, why are our politicians doing that? It's because they're compromised, or at least that's what a lot of the evidence is. This is what Dale has said here, and have a listen to this.
Like pedophilia, secret societies is just the glue that holds this whole thing together. And then it starts to get into politics, right? And of course, why wouldn't it, right? If you're running a system of control and leverage, and looking at the decisions that the Australian government has made over decade after decade, we're looking at how are we in this position now? And you're watching what they're doing now, and you're it's hard for them to even try and make a positive move and look like it's a band-aid. All they can do is try and make band-aids because they've just gutted the country at every core, and you're there's no way they're that incompetent. There's something else driving this, and it's not these people. It's because it's this system of pedophilia and secret societies and Satanism that holds the glue together,
Via blackmail to roll out the globalist agenda, basically. As you say, and it's kind of so obvious for people now with how incompetent politicians are, but a lot of people that haven't woken up yet are just kind of thinking, Albo's a moron or something like that. Let's vote in some new politicians. They still don't understand how this whole system works, and that's kind of where we really need to get.
Now, in one of the other shorts that he did, which I didn't have time to pull, well, I did have time to pull in, but I just had too many. He actually says that Franco Rayner, remember when she was in Parliament? Yeah, she got the service to one of the channel, one of the I better not name it actually. One of the big channels, the news channels here in Australia, or entertainment channels here in Australia, and there was stuff on there that shouldn't have been on there relating to little people. So very interesting. So
heavily connected also to the Frank Arkell and Wollongong cases as well.
Was that the dwarf wrestling? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
She actually.
Yeah, absolutely. She lifted the lid back in the day, and they threw her under the bus, and pretty much that was it. That was the end of her career. So she was probably one of the very first that actually had a crack, basically.
Okay. Look, one of the things that I love at the moment is the tide is turning. Now, we've known that the tide was going to turn because of the futures technologies, so webbots and those kind of forecasting technologies. We also know that in the future that the people who are kind of what we refer to as your left-wing lunatics are hunted down by their children. The children of the future actually hate them. And it's really, absolutely despise them and hate them. They actually hunt them down on the, they use language as people refer to Hitler. That's how extreme it is. And we know that people change their names so as not to be associated with them, that they're all exposed. And, but it's actually starting to turn here, and you can see this. A shout out to Carl's. This is the best takedown I have seen. It is freaking awesome.
Tell the media that you have won. Nope. So you can stop now. You've won.
Honestly, Abby, it is time to finally shut up and listen. The universe is trying to deliver you a lesson and you keep refusing to learn it. Your crocodile tears are utter performative bullshit, and no one is falling for it, except for all your sycophantic fans. I've been in your shoes, Abby. I've been tarred and feathered by the Australian public and dragged through the mud by the Australian media. I know exactly what it feels like to be bullied, harassed, and pushed to near suicide because you had contrarian beliefs, and women like you and Clementine Ford made a spectator sport of it. Women like you and Clementine Ford cheered on the bullying and harassment and takedown of women who didn't align with your political beliefs. The Australian media certainly does reserve a special level of malevolence towards women, particularly contrarian women like myself. But women like you, Abby, got a free pass because you aligned with the woke progressive ideology being shoved down our throat. Let's not forget, Abby, only months ago you were inciting political violence by trying to get an incel to Donald Trump because you don't like his politics, even though he was a duly elected president of the United States. And not only did you go unpunished, you got put into a position on a primetime breakfast radio show. How much money did you make during COVID, Abby, when you were forcing everyone to take the vaccine and you were plugging your butt plugs? Did you ever consider the impact of your behaviours and the mental health of the people that you sent your followers after to go and troll and harass? How have you still not learned after 2 defamation cases that you can't just make up shit about people and send your followers after them? You asked for this fame. You want this platform. With it goes a lot of responsibility. And if you can't hold the weight of fame, maybe it's time to step out of the spotlight. I am so done with women like you calling foul because finally you are being held responsible for your egregious behaviour. For years, you have been running around calling anyone who disagrees with you in any capacity racists, Nazis, bigots, conspiracy theorists, cookers, just because they dared to have an opposing opinion to you. And now all of a sudden, like all of us predicted, that pendulum is swinging back hard and your woke ideology is no longer the flavour of the month, which means you are no longer going without consequence. And to be really clear, this is not bullying or harassment. This is pointing out double standards and your hypocrisy. Learn the lesson, Abby, otherwise the universe will keep delivering the lesson and making it harder each time until you do. I don't wish you any harm, Abby, but I will demand you have some accountability for your actions.
Another butt so close of fire gone down. That's gold. Oh man. Yeah.
Man, that was...
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
that was great.
Beautiful. That's
It
powerful.
was.
What radio is she off? I don't know.
No,
I've
she
heard
does
of that.
she does her own thing, but she also does the she also works with who is it again? So
No,
yeah,
the
but
Abby,
anyway.
the chick she's
Oh,
talking
Abby.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Abby
was...
Chatfield. Yes. No, everyone
What's
knows
the
Abby.
about. What radio station is it? I'm just thinking I might ring in.
Yeah, I'll find it for you. Yeah, okay. Look, we have this situation as well with the railway being cancelled. Have a listen to this.
Officially dumped the Inland Rail project, which was set to connect Brisbane with Melbourne after costs ballooned past $45 billion. The 1,600-kilometre infrastructure project will now end in the New South Wales town of Parkes, while connecting WA's freight rail network to Melbourne. Construction on the Parkes leg will be completed by the end of next year.
Hey, but we got 660 million for Papua New Guinea for a football team.
Yeah,
we got
60.
billions to send over to other countries to look after themselves, but hey, can't finish your infrastructure for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so true. All right, and then just finally, on the Australian news, Kiss FM. That's it. Thank you. And Carl's works fairly closely with Topher. They do a show together. Really worthwhile checking out. All right, so this is a little bit on Jack Lang.
And says, Auslander Rouse. Imagine a leader that gives us our own currency. You know, during the Great Depression, New South Wales had a premier called Jack Lang. And he saw that the London banks were fucking him over. So what did he do? He withdrew the money from Treasury and said, hey, I'm implementing my own New South Wales Treasury certificates to build shit during the Great Depression so we didn't go bankrupt and forever be in debt to the Bank of fucking London. Now that's some based Aussie spirit right there. No need to look to Germany. We did it ourselves. We have the capability to do it. But guess what happened to him? Oh, he got thrown out by the New South Wales governor. The only New South Wales premier to be thrown out, simply because he said, I'm getting fucked over by the financial institutions of a foreign country, So I'm going to ensure my country is safe. Oh no, you can't do that. See you fucking later.
All right, we don't have time for the whole lot of it.
I thought England and all them banks and that was a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
No, well, it's actually interesting because Australia did issue their own currency bonds in the very beginning, and that's why we became so wealthy so fast. So yeah, I'm actually I've got the books here to actually read up about it. I just found the currency a bit too hard to get my head around, but I need to do that and get on top of it. But
you
it's
can also see, Caz, that those wheels will keep spinning around. You know, like that handbook that they've used even back then is still being used right now. Same thing. Yeah.
it's just insane that we live in a world where we've got so much access to knowledge and this stuff is still going on. It's absolutely insane. All right, so one of the things that's going on at the moment is there's two things that are really interesting. Will I go the aliens first, or will I go the antivirus? Which one? Let's take a vote. Hands up if you want the antivirus.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Right.
Now, I actually, this lady here, I think she's onto something. It's a bit of a long clip, but it's really worthwhile.
Now, something is off about this cruise ship in the Atlantic with the hantavirus outbreak, and I cannot let it go. This is the MV Hondias, an expedition cruise ship owned and operated by Oceanwide Expeditions. And the route went from Argentina through Antarctica and the South Atlantic, with stops in South Georgia and Tristan da Cunha and St. Helena, all before heading towards Cape Verde. And I'm sorry, how is it that there are 147 people on board, with 3 people dead, 7 confirmed cases of the hantavirus, and the only video we've all seen from inside the ship is one guy named Jake crying in his cabin? No, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it, okay? Because you're talking to somebody who watches a lot of cruise ship drama on TikTok. In fact, it is one of my favorite TikTok subgenres that exists, okay? I watch it all the time. And if there's one thing that I've learned from those TikTokers, it is that if someone so much as catches a stomach flu on a Carnival cruise, there are 19 TikToks, 4 Facebook Lives, and some woman named Brenda locked in a closet filming herself saying, "Please help us," like it's the frickin' Blair Witch Project. So I decided to investigate. Not a full rabbit hole because I have other investigations that require my attention right now, but what I did find was interesting. So first I went looking for the original Jake video because, like many of you, the first time I saw it was on the CBS TikTok account, which is a company owned by Larry Ellison now, but I digress. I couldn't find the original video anywhere, but luckily CBS did put in the tippy top corner of the video Jake's username on TikTok, so I went to his page to see if I could find it there. No. So I started scrolling through Jake's page and I learned that he is a Boston travel content creator and he's been to like hundreds of countries, although none of his videos have gotten like a super high amount of views, but yet he's got 5.6 million. I just know that's weird. Anyways, he's got sponsorship links, he's got collaborations, he's got a Yahoo email, and if you go over to TikTok Shop, he's hawking a bunch of, travel consumerism junk. And I'm scrolling through his posts and he's got this weird PR statement as one of them. Mind you, he didn't even post the video that he sent to CBS on his own account, remember? So I don't know, it's weird. But then I hit this penguin video from the trip, and it's a stunning video with a high resolution camera, and I mean, look, the sky is insane. It's clearly very beautiful. But just keep in mind what this sky looks like, okay? Because it's gonna come back later. In fact, his photos and videos are so beautiful, it is kind of hard to believe that it's not AI. No, but Michael.Elizabeth08, I'm with you. So I went to Google and searched for the name of the ship, the MV Hondias, filtered the dates to be before the outbreak became public, and went to videos to see if I had missed anything, because this is the exact kind of trip where you would normally see people posting pictures of wildlife, or videos of the sunset, or rough seas with the yo-ho sound, cabin tours, meals, anything. The only videos are from Jake Rosemarian. This is weird. And then I read about one other passenger who was quoted in BBC and AP coverage named Caz and Franco, also known online as Ibn Hattuta. Sorry if I mispronounced that. This guy. And he sent over footage over WhatsApp to AP News and BBC, and he gave them quotes specifically saying, "Actually, morale is high. People are watching movies, reading, and drinking hot drinks." 3 people are dead. And then it gets even weirder because he's posting stuff like this on his story. You can pause to read it, but the second paragraph says, this whole situation has been blown out of proportion partly because of one person panicking on the ship whose video has been circulating on the media. While his reaction is valid, it doesn't represent the situation on board. Everyone else, 148 out of 149, has been calm. The situation is under control, and we just wish those who are sick a speedy recovery. And his videos also look cinematic, except if you'll notice, his sky is blue. His video clips around a lot, but from every which angle, it's the same blue sky. You mean to tell me that both of these content creators were there during sunset and Jake's the only one that got a video with the beautiful pink orange sky? Fools. They think we're fools. I mean, come on, you expect us to believe that after the outbreak happens and people are locked in their rooms forced to quarantine and the only 2 passengers from inside the ship we hear from are 2 travel influencers? Nope, absolutely not. As a dedicated consumer of cruise drama TikTok, I reject this whole premise. Look, maybe the cruise company told them they weren't allowed to post, maybe the Wi-Fi's bad, or maybe everybody on that cruise ship just genuinely...
Anyway, we'll stop it there, but...
Mate, as soon as I saw that guy from Australia, I just looked at Mel and went, you are kidding. Like, kidding.
Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of CGI stuff going around, and even Iran tried to do it with the sinking of the ships, and it's just like, that's CGI. Like, and it's just like, what the hell is true? And, you know, and even these ones, I'm still not sure about these ones because, so where is the, I wasn't going to get to it, but anyway, I'll have a look at it. This one here.
Are being dragged out of their own homes and forced into the front lines to die for their country, while Zelensky are importing third world immigrants and Ukrainian politicians are driving around in luxury cars in foreign countries, and the media isn't saying anything about this. Then you have big corporations like BlackRock buying big plots of land in Ukraine. Yeah, totally random. This looks like a really well-planned ethnic cleansing of the Ukrainian people and their culture. And if you can't see the corruption in this war, you must be as blind as a cave salamander. I mean, this is insane.
And that's what the plan is. I know that the plan is to basically, bring about world wars, and then they force subscription on people, and they're just, they're importing people hand over fist. So
don't forget, Ukraine supplies massive amounts of timber and food.
Yeah, no, I know. And then you've got this situation, like the left are so mentally ill. Like they're so brainwashed, and guys, I know that they're easy to hate, but the thing is that they're actually victims, and they're pretty much victims of things like the Tavistock Institute and all of these things that have basically been brainwashing them. But Paul Joseph Watson has put this together, and it's completely insane. The level of insanity is just stupendous.
What could possibly go wrong? Esteballi's Cortazar, refugees welcome open border activist, invited an African migrant to stay in her home. It was then that her nightmare began. House is a total pigsty. There's been a little cultural enrichment in the bathroom. He hates her dog and has zero respect for her property. And suffice to say, doesn't appear very grateful.
A las 6 de la mañana, él se levantaba, ponía música.
This went on for an entire year. He then harassed her, abused her with nasty insults. She desperately launched a petition complaining the migrant squatter had more rights than her. Then the migrant changed the locks, and she was forced to leave entirely and sleep on her brother's couch. Taunting her further, he sent her videos of a trashed apartment. Esteballis still refused to divulge the migrant's country of origin to the media because she doesn't want to contribute to existing racism. She literally got what she voted for.
The intelligence, eh?
Inclusion means me.
Look, the thing is that the back channel always said that there was 3 to 5%. They were just so gone you'd never be able to bring them back. So, and the other thing, of course, is the big news is the pastors leaking out about this. This is Perry Stone.
I had a friend that sent me a text message. I was in a meeting, a weekend meeting, preaching Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. And he said, Perry, can you give me a call? I have some information that has come to my attention. Of course, when a friend of yours does that you know quite well, you have no idea what information they're talking about. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. And this particular man, and I'll not name him, and then we may end up doing some teachings with him or having an event at his church. He has a great church. But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft, that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released. And some of it has to do with crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet. Very strange reptilian-looking creatures, and other things that almost sound like something out of a sci-fi movie or an Orson Welles book.
They're called fallen angels. You pastor, you.
Yeah. Would it be at Nevada desert, I was wondering?
Don't know.
Well, it's interesting because, there's Obadiah talks about they made their home amongst the stars, the lesser prophets. There's two, I think it was Malachi as well. They made their home amongst the stars, and it actually talks about them. So very interesting, but there's actually some reports where they're talking about it's not just, there's terrestrial, there's extraterrestrial, and then there's interdimensional. Very interesting stuff that they're talking about releasing. So I don't know whether they're going to do COVID 2.0, but alien style. Or, is this what's coming? And
Who knows?
Do you know something? I will tell you something very interesting. When COVID all started and it was all crazy, there was a girl that I was working with, and she was going, I can't believe that this is going on. It's so weird. I said, yeah. I said, I'm waiting for the alien. I'm waiting for the alien attack to happen next. And she laughed, but I've got to be proven right.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Yep. It's all about deception. All about deception.
It is indeed, mate. It is.
But there's a lot of really great stuff happening, guys. I was wrong. I said I thought that Brennan would be the first arrest. I readjusted my thoughts. I think it's going to be James Comey. A couple of things that you should go and check out. Go and check out Josh Reed. Q After Hours. Him and Delta, Alpha Delta did a great show on timeline wars, of all things.
Okay.
Also, Melissa Redpill has done a really interesting interview with Nino Rodriguez today, talking about the beast symbolism, and also about, now I don't agree with some of the stuff she says, but there is some of the stuff, the historical stuff, that she gets us right. Obviously, the same with everything. Also, there's Chaos Coordinator, who is Tori says, she has basically said that every American should be thanking Kash Patel for his SPLC investigation. As you can see, our tax dollars are being used by NGOs to stymie our rights and freedom because they know best. No more. So the days of the NGOs, and I would say, because a lot of the NGOs are part of funding partial funding of lobbying groups as well, I would say they're done. So we might be 8 ball, but we're coming up.
Yeah. The state.
All right. Thanks for the few people on TikTok smashing all the likes, man. We're up to 2.8k in likes on TikTok, and we got flagged.
Oh, really?
All right. Yeah. boys are sitting in there pounding it. Donnie Dundee, you're a howler, bro. Love you, brother.
Yeah.
Well,
that's Swampy being cleared out.
Final words, and Dave, you'd like to wrap up and close the show. I shall hit play. I shall hit go end stream.
All right, Franco.
Yeah, well, I was always going to make, like Dave and I had this discussion that, to thank everybody who has fought.
2 weeks of flattening the ET. I love it.
There you go. So everyone that's fought on this battleground, I just want to commend you for taking the fight and pushing forward and all the rest of it. But, to the new audience and the people that are tuning in right now, look, we got a virus in this country, and it's called Freemasonry. That's it. And that's our virus, it's nothing else, it's all our establishments. So guess what? Their filthy secrets are no longer secrets. So let them know about it. Let them know that so, but anyway, to every freedom fighter, particularly Forest of the Fallen, I think I mentioned that last time, man, Rosie, and all the rest of it, Craig also, there's so many people to mention, but just keep going. We're almost there. We really are.
Yep, my sentiments, exactly. Are we almost there? Well, I don't know about that, but, we'll keep it, we'll keep it interesting, won't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, see you on Friday night, guys, for the weekly wrap-up. Okay, thanks again. See you, Caz.
Bye.
This crazy little thing called cost of living. Ooh, cost of living. Hit you quick like a summer storm. Like a storm, yeah. I'm clocking double shifts just to keep the lights on, but the meter's spinning like a hurricane's born. I gotta be cool, relax, take it easy now. Cool, relax. Grab a cold one, kick back on the veranda somehow. What's this? It's another fucking tax. Slapping on my beer and my petrol max. Ready, baby, we gotta be strong. Stand up tall and tell them they're wrong. A bloody loan. Long, yeah. Power bills rising like the devil's own. The missus says, honey, we're sinking fast, but I just smile and crack another glass. Oh, come on. Crack another glass. I gotta be cool, relax, take a breath now. Cool, relax. Laugh it off with the boys down at the bolo somehow. What's this? It's another fucking tax. All my smokes and my buttons ass. Ready, darling, we gotta be strong. Grab your mate, sing this protest song. March to the step, the Parliament Gate. Walk this line, no time to wait. Tell the dudes in their ivory towers, this land's ours, not just yours. Shake it. Go, man, go. What's this? Yeah, another fucking tax.
Another tax.
Another tax. But we'll ride it out, baby, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Ready, Australia, we gotta be strong.
Australia strong.
United we stand where we belong.
Where we belong.
Take it easy,
Take it easy. Take it easy.
We'll be alright.
We'll be alright.
Just gotta fight.
Just gotta fight.
called cost of living.
Cost of living.